Welcome to the Road to Redemption podcast with your host, Cam Williamson. Each week, Cam sets out to shatter the labels and stigmas associated with mental health awareness by giving life lessons and raw overviews of events happening around the world.
What the heck is going on? Welcome back. We got more people coming at St. Rogies. Joe Rogan is not under really any more fire than he was last week when we talked about it. But guys, there's 5 new artists. 5 new artists. Funny enough, when Neil Young's name came up, Neil Young kind of kicked all this bull crap off, didn't he? With the most recent coming at Rogies. St. Rogies, Joe Rogan, whatever you want to call him, the most popular podcaster in the world, the most controversial man at the time. Joe Rogan, more people coming at him. All right, a couple days ago, I heard rumors that the Foo Fighters may be contemplating taking their music off Spotify. When I had originally asked what's something that would actually cause a dent for Spotify, something like the Foo Fighters coming off or demanding their removal, that could cause some waves. The Foo Fighters they're big, and they've been bigger than Rogan for longer. So again, I didn't even see that one confirmed, but I did see that their names were mentioned. Let's talk about this real quick. So when Neil Young first came up, I was like, I don't even care about Neil Young. I don't even care about his music. And someone goes, well, he's a classic. I said, well, you know what? Just because we consider something or because we've called something a classic in the past, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing, right? Like, people consider Pulp Fiction a classic movie, and I think it's garbage. It's a trash movie. The plot sucks. Outside of a couple funny parts and things that happen in the movie that you're like, oh, okay, you know, whatever. John Travolta's kind of whatever. Samuel L. Jackson's kind of whatever. You know, the movie is considered a classic, but it's hot garbage, in my opinion. So, like, just because something's a classic doesn't necessarily mean it's universally loved. It just means that people talked about it for a really long time, right? And they keep talking about it, so it remains a classic. I remember Neil Young's name came up, and I couldn't figure out who he was, a lot like a lot of other people. I was like, Neil Diamond, Neil Armstrong, don't know who Neil Young is. I immediately thought, like, well, Bruce Springsteen is considered a classic. He's like, they call Neil Young apparently the godfather of grunge, which, let's be real, Kurt Cobain is real grunge, and Neil Young is not grunge at all. So anyone who tries to call Neil Young the godfather of grunge, you dumb. But then you got the godfather of rock and roll, or whatever they call Bruce Springsteen, and I was like, you know, Springsteen is considered a classic. Springsteen's keeping his mouth shut during all this. People love Bruce Springsteen, seemingly, and he's kind of in a similar boat, except for the fact that I say, my opinion, Springsteen is actually talented. He's got a few hit songs that even my generation would know. I was born in 92. That makes me 30 this month. I know Bruce Springsteen songs. I know a few of them. Whatever. The reason I bring up Springsteen is he falls in similar realms, age groups, entertainment. He's kind of been an advocate when things happen. So the artists boycotting Spotify include Neil Young, we knew that. Joni Mitchell, we knew that. Nils Lofgren, Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band guitarist Nils Lofgren, announced in a letter on Young's website Saturday that he was also joining the boycott over vaccine information. Lofgren said he stood with healthcare professionals, scientists, and others in calling out Spotify for promoting vaccine misinformation. When these heroic women and men who've spent their lives healing and saving ours cry out for help, you don't turn your back on them for money and power. You listen and stand with them, he wrote. What about the first responders or frontline workers or essential workers, as they were called in the beginning of the pandemic, who don't agree with you? This is where we keep coming back and forth. See, Rogan is not, to my knowledge, most people who are rational and level-headed and Rogan supporters are not calling for Neil Young or anyone else or CNN to be taken off the air because of what could be shown has happened, which is they've spread misinformation. So what is the real difference? And why are people coming at Rogan? It's a money play. It's the same thing that we talked about with the Travis Barker and the Kardashians and the MGKs and the Megan Foxes and the Pete Davidsons and all this shit. Guys, this is all a big publicity play. I can tell you from someone who is involved in marketing, advertising, SEO work, it is good for business to be in headlines. Even if it's seeming that everyone is dogging you, it is a good thing for a lot of people to know your name. Why? Because people will look into you. They will research you. What happens then is if you have a catalog of work, it kind of makes a resurgence and people go, oh, I didn't even know about this. Let's check this out. In a time where nostalgia is coming back, spirituality kind of getting away from the modern systems of the world, I think people like Neil Young, Joni Mitchell's, people like that, they see an opportunity, or maybe a younger member of their team goes, hey, I really see a spot here. If you open up. Now, again, Neil Young has advocated before. I'm not saying that he's out specifically clout chasing in this scenario. I am saying, though, this huge public town square attempted stoning of Rogan is kind of getting a little ridiculous because it's so clear. It's so clearly a cash grab that it's like, oh yeah, Neil Young, you care that much that your music was uploaded in MP3 and not WAV files, so that's why you're doing this? Well, why didn't you demand that your stuff was taken off then? Right? So what you're seeing is people like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell and the guitarist of the E Street Band. They're going, if you disagree with me, then I don't even want you to be a fan of mine, and I don't want you to even have access to my stuff. If you don't do things, or if you don't even want to consume my stuff the way I think you should consume it, well then you're not even worth talking to. You're not even worth being able to be heard if you don't fall in line with everything that I think is acceptable. Which is really the problem that we face here in America, is we have these old systems. We've got these old heads that are sitting, decaying in chairs that they were given 50 fucking years ago that gives them some sort of platform, and they're able to cling on to one last little shred of whatever they think control they have, and they go, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to say this, and people need to agree, or else what, bitch? Let's read the rest of this list and tell me if you guys know a single person. So, Nels Lofgren, the guitarist for the E Street Band, which again, Springsteen's kept his mouth shut. Smart move. Singer India Arie announced on Instagram Monday that she too is having her music and podcast removed from the platform, citing concerns about Rogan's past comments about race as well as COVID-19. So now they're calling Rogan, which they've done before, a racist, a bigot, someone who spreads misinformation and lies. Oh, man. Could it be that your podcast sucks and you're a little jealous? Could it be that you know that saying something like this could be the first time anyone's heard of your fucking name? Huh? Now, anybody who would go and search out your podcast that you're demanding be removed that no one's heard of, okay, sure. It was free publicity for you. You're going to get the dummies you deserve. Fucking idiots. All right, next. Who's next? Somebody else we've never heard of. Graham Nash. You guys know who Graham Nash is? I sure as fuck don't. Singer-songwriter Graham Nash announced via Instagram on Tuesday that having heard the COVID disinformation spread by Rogan on Spotify, I completely agree with support my friend Neil Young. So these are all Neil Young's friends. Odd. And this is from Yahoo News. Odd. Neil Young puts out his, geriatric bat signal and goes, hey, everyone who agrees with me, take off Even though my content is completely irrelevant and no one gives a shit, and I'm kind of the clown of the internet right now, I would like you to also publicly put yourself in the, what were those things called that people used to put themselves in the city square? I forget what they're called. I want you to go up and put yourself in that so people can start chucking tomatoes at you too for being a moron. Only here's the thing. You don't even have the credibility of being notable. So I need an army so I don't look stupid. Hey, come out and support me. Show your support for me, because Rogan's comments are flooded right now. I'm getting fucked up by all these blue check marks, people calling me stupid. I need my 5 friends to come out and say, hey, I agree and stand with my friend Neil Young. Guess what? Stand with him. Go stand with him. Let Apple send out their stupid fucking tweets about we're the official home of Neil Young. Guess what? People are canceling their fucking Apple subscriptions, myself included. Canceled my music. I don't pay anything to listen to Apple Music. It sucks. You know what happens when you play Apple Music and you put it on shuffle? You'll hear the same fucking 15 songs over and over and over and over and over again. They're garbage. Apple Music is trash. Let them have it. Guys, this is all one ginormous attempt for people who see Rogan, right? They see the way things used to be. There was money in advertising and radio and stuff like this, and it was easy to get, your concert tour sponsored by all these different people. Guess what people don't want to do anymore, especially in the time of COVID? They don't want to sponsor old-ass artists going on tour because they don't even know if the money is going to be returned. They don't know if people care. They don't know if people are comfortable enough to come out and see the show. So what are they doing? Old people that don't fucking understand social media and how it works and how communication should work in the fucking times of today are coming out and going in one last ditch effort to cling on to their fucking power and their way of being, go, Rogan and anybody like him is wrong and they should be canceled immediately. What does that mean for the future podcasters? What does that mean for future journalists? What does that mean for future people that want to share real information with the world? It means that you have a responsibility to stand up and say something about this. Neil Young has the right to believe what he believes. He does not have the right to demand that someone else's voice be silenced because it's different than yours. If you actually listen to Rogan's show, you will see that there is not misinformation being spread as fact. You are getting people's opinions, people's observations. Their credential levels vary from episode to episode. It's up to the listener to decide, do I trust who I'm listening to? The guest, and Rogan included. Do I trust them? Does this advice make sense? Can I search it out and see that it's verifiable? Can I then apply it to my life and observe those same results? Oh my God. We're actually involved in the topics that we're learning about now. We're actually applying them in real time to our lives. We're not just taking things we disagree with and going, everything that's not that needs to be silenced because I think it's dangerous to the world. Why do you think we had religious wars start all these hundreds of thousands of years ago? Because someone somewhere went, if you don't do things the way I do it, you should be eliminated. How in the fuck has that gone for us so far? And it's usually in an attempt to gain or hold claim to power or control or the narratives. All the things people are claiming Rogan has such control over, and the thing he's saying, I never wanted, I didn't ask for this. They're saying he has all this influence, he has all this control. Well, you had no problem when you had it. You have no problem using your voice and your influence. So you're just really mad that his is bigger than yours? And you're mad that you know that he's making bank and bank and bank with people that will never sponsor your irrelevant asses? Okay. Maybe there is such thing as no press is bad press or all press is good press, whatever they say. But I can tell you right now, Even though we won't even be talking about Neil Young in 5 years, we'll go back to no one giving a shit who he is or Joni Mitchell is or any of these other fucking idiots. We're going to go back to a world, hopefully, where people go, oh, this is dumb. And this is just a headline that's being put out to attack Rogan so that way the powers that are can hold on to their one last cling of hope that advertising dollars might come back to them. I have news for you. It's not. It's not gonna. It is so far leaping above even like YouTube now. Guys, people like Neil Young, and myself included, guys, like I'm not on Twitch. I don't Twitch myself playing video games with all the ads and the millions of dollars of sponsors that are on e-gaming and shit now. I'm so out of touch with that. This is what I do. And I know this very well. So if I'm acknowledging that I'm out of touch with even what the younger generation than myself, and I'm only 30 is doing, the fuck you think dudes like Neil Young and all this are? The thing is, we need to stop giving our attention to dumb shit like this. The next time I figure we really need to worry is if Spotify actually is considering taking Rogan down. That would be disgusting. But even then, he's going to go somewhere else, and wherever he goes, even if it's he just puts his shit up on his own website, people will go and watch it. Then you're going to give all the money to him. He doesn't have to share anything with Spotify. It goes directly to him. So again, let people dig this hole. They're just going to dig the hole, fill it full of money, and let Rogan sleep on top of it. Because that's all you're doing. The people that don't know about Rogan, they're checking him out. People that otherwise would not have listened to his show are probably deep diving the show and going, oh, I was kind of wrong here. But the issue is people won't listen to something and go, oh, I was wrong here, like Rogan will. He's retracted stuff 1,000 times and go, oh, we found out later that's wrong. People will listen to something, find out that they're wrong, turn that video off, type in www.imright.com, go to whatever the fuck fits the narrative that they already spewed out on social media and go, oh, here's a link to something I agree with or something that agrees with what I said earlier because I can't come back and say now that I might have been misguided or that I might have been wrong. Well, that's what the fuck is wrong with us today. It's why we can't get anywhere. It's why we can't progress because we're so stuck in like, well, it has to be this way. And if it's not this way, then it just needs to go away. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. We have to be able to be real ass human beings having real ass discussions, or else we're going to keep this bullshit going on that we got going right now. All these little attempts at manipulation and control and all these little, we all can agree it fucking sucks. It sucks. So many people have found knowledge and real truth through Rogan's show and have found real relief through it, through this pandemic. And to watch people try to shit on somebody who's really had nothing but seemingly honorable intentions this whole time, it's just disgusting. And I think if you have a platform, if you have a podcast, part of that is because of Rogan. So as the podcasting family, I feel like it again, if you feel so inclined, I'm not out here trying to convert people to Roganism or whatever. I'm trying to get people to open their brains to the truth and stop being led by these fucking idiots that want nothing more than to just control you and manipulate your thoughts and take your money and steal your attention. Fuck them. Fuck them. People that otherwise, 40 years ago would have been seen as like hippie rebels out for advocacy. Now they're literally out preaching the same gospel of the people that they hated 40 years ago. It makes no fucking sense. But hey, let them do what they want to do. We'll keep doing what we do. And I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Go thumbs up the video. Subscribe if you like this. Hit the bell if you want to see more of it. Check out the Road to Redemption podcast.com for all the merch and stuff like that. Got a lot of cool stuff going on over there. I'll see you guys in the next episode.